Topping this newscast, there are now more than 300,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S., and that number keeps growing. More than 8,000 people have died from the virus in this country. But let's see what's happening right here in Washington state. So the State Department of Health has confirmed now close to 7,600 cases. 310 people have died, and that number includes the first death in Thurston County. Of more than 87,000 people who've taken the test in this state, more than 91% have tested negative. The battle against COVID-19 continues to be fought on the home front, from staying at home to one of the simplest ways to help prevent the virus from spreading. Here's King 5's Glenn Farley.
The battle against COVID-19 continues to be fought in the home, from staying home to now making some of the weapons of war. Your ammunition may be as close as your dresser or your closet. 2 layers of clean cotton, the CDC saying even an old t-shirt will work. Joyce Taylor showing us a simple fold-up method without a sewing machine. Even Surgeon General Jerome Adams showing off his skills.
Or you can make a face covering out of an old t-shirt.
The recommendations to wear simple masks based on the theory it will make it less likely that people who might be contagious but otherwise displaying no symptoms or maybe even feeling ill from spreading COVID-19. Finding masks online could prove challenging. But like all wars, there are casualties. Thurston County, home to the state's capital and Olympia, marking its first fatality, a man in his 80s. The most urban counties, King, Snohomish, and Pierce, the hardest hit. But while the numbers continue to go up, the State Department of Health shows the curve for cases in Washington, while uneven, showing that perhaps social distancing is working, the curve flattening. The state getting a shout out at the president's press conference from Dr. Anthony Fauci.
But Washington State was the first to get hit, but they put in a really good program of mitigation. And if you look at the charts that Dr. Berg showed the other day, they're still down there doing well.
The hope is the first state in, also the first state out. Glenn Farley, King 5 News.
Glenn, thank you. As COVID-19 spreads through the nation, many states are struggling with testing and finding the supplies they need. Here in Washington, medical workers have started using a new way to recycle and to sterilize medical-grade masks.
I think it's a game changer because we can't get these supplies. Their supply chain is very challenging right now. We have N95 masks. This will allow us to use them up to 20 times.
So this method is a new way to reuse tens of thousands of normally one-time use masks, which means medical workers have better access to these much-needed items. The community is reaching out to help as well. Today, churches on the east side teamed up with a Kirkland nonprofit to collect medical supplies. 3 churches in Mill Creek, Bothell, and Kirkland partnered up with nonprofit Vital Solutions to collect masks, gloves, and other supplies. And the community showed up, dropping off new donations that will go to care facilities in need, as well as caregivers and nurses who treat elderly patients in their homes or at long-term care facilities.
Shouldn't be sitting in containers in our schools when our schools are closed.
Some local schools are donated personal protection equipment, or PPE, as well, which can be used by hospitals and first responders. East Olympia Elementary had 800 surgical masks on campus, which is near a railroad crossing.
Was at some point, and I think this was actually quite some time ago, a concern that if there were to be a chemical spill of some kind, we need to put a mask on every student.
The Olympic School District donated 1,200 masks, including 200 of the N95 masks, plus more than 6,000 gloves. North Thurston Public Schools donated 1,300 masks and more than 6,000 gloves. The Tumwater School District found 2,000 masks to be donated. A Seattle business is answering Governor Inslee's call for manufacturers to make medical supplies. GM Nameplate has begun to produce face shields for healthcare workers. The company has already donated many of the shields to hospitals and nursing facilities.
We're going to continue on doing face shields. I mean, it's all hands on deck. We have people that are, our office staff that's also starting to be part of our production line at building face shields. Personally, I build face shields. I spend a few hours every night doing that.
By the end of this month, they hope to have 200,000 done, and they'll keep increasing production as long as the need is there. New tonight, look what grocery stores are now doing. This is the QFC on Lower Queen Anne, and they have installed a clear barrier between the cashier and you, the customer. And you can see the sign which reads, "We've installed these to ensure the wellness and care of our associates and customers." And today, Walmart started limiting the number of people allowed in their stores to promote social distancing. Most Walmarts will also have just one entrance open, which in most cases will be the one closest to the grocery department. So once you're inside, you'll only be allowed to move one way down each aisle so you don't get too close to other customers. This week, Target and Costco both announced that they would be limiting the number of people allowed in their stores as well. Many small business owners are facing a financial emergency right now in the face of COVID-19. They're turning to loans, and some say a new program is leaving them frustrated. The Paycheck Protection program was created by the federal government to help small businesses pay their employees. Well, yesterday, Bank of America received over 85,000 applications for over $22 billion in assistance. That surge has resulted in technical issues and delays, causing problems for small business owners like Nick.
The Paycheck program that everyone's saying is going to help small business, we're being denied, and there's no way for us to access that fund. And it's terrifying.
The top three lenders told NBC that they are working to resolve all those technical issues in the process of applications. Unemployment claims are surging right now in Washington state with numbers not seen since the 2008 recession. Now, the state's employment commissioner says that there have been thousands of new claims this past week alone. They're talking about an 843% increase just from the previous week. The number of calls they're getting has also increased 1,000% since the beginning of the crisis. According to the commissioner, the best way to file a claim is actually to avoid calling entirely and instead head to their website, esd.wa.gov, that address right there on your screen. The department says despite lag times, everyone will receive benefits from the time that they lost their job. And if you need to apply for unemployment but aren't really sure what to do, you can text the word apply to our number 206-448-4545 and we'll send you what you need to know.